Okay, let's talk Ricky Pearsall. I have a concern about him, and it's kind of inspired from your uh, back and forth you had with Vish during the season about Ayuk
Okay.
and the importance of touchdowns. So Ricky Pearsall, good route runner, tested well, tough, doesn't drop the ball, lots of 4 touchdowns last year. Touchdown catches. Never had more than 5 touchdown catches in a season in college. How? I mean, Jacob Cowing had 13 last year.
I know.
How? That to me, I feel like every successful NFL wide receiver had more than 5 touchdown catches in a season in college, and lots of unsuccessful ones too. Like, how do you explain this one?
I mean, the only thing I can point to with any kind of like rock solid, because I couldn't speak to the rest of Florida's receiving core because I really didn't watch them enough this year, but their quarterbacks were bad. I mean, they had 3 different quarterbacks. They were all kind of subpar. So maybe that's it. Maybe
Was Arizona's quarterback really good? I don't know. Maybe he was.
When he was at ASU, you mean?
No, I mean like Jacob Cowing had 13 touchdown catches this year. Like, was he not playing with a?
Well, I think he was. Wasn't it Jaden Delora?
I don't know.
He was pretty good, and Arizona had a good year. I mean, Arizona upset Oklahoma in the bowl game.
Probably because of Jacob Cowing.
Yeah. Well, how about this for Jacob Cowing, Grant? Last 2 games for Jacob Cowing. He played the Territorial Cup game against ASU and then the bowl game against Oklahoma. The guy combined in those 2 games for 15 catches, 300 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So he can't
wait to watch
rolling.
Rick Cowing in rookie minicamp. I can't wait to watch him. I have a feeling he's going to be impossible to cover. Pearsall. I want to see what they look. I really want to see those 2 on the same field. We're going to see it this week. It's going to be really interesting. Pearsall's 5 inches taller, and I wonder what else he has going for him over Cowing. That's how I feel. Cowing's faster.
I don't know about. I'm not. The one thing you said about Pearsall that I don't know is true is you said he's tough. I don't know that he's tough.
Okay.
And I know people are getting tired of me saying this because I've been questioning this the last week. But to me, that one factor, that one trait is the difference between good pick, bad pick. If this guy's not tough, I mean, like I thought there was Kyle Posey did a nice piece in Niners Nation where he went and took Bruce Feldman and Tony Pauline and a couple other scouts, and he kind of clipped all their scouting reports. And a couple of the things that I thought stood out was about Pearsall was just, he gets knocked off his feet, spends some time on the ground. How tough is he? And to me, it's like you operate in the middle of the field, you better be tough. And if people say, well, he's like Julian Edelman, except he's bigger and faster. Okay, but Julian Edelman is like a rare tough guy whose dad was a mechanic, and he's just tough. I mean, Julian Edelman would fight anybody. And Cooper Kupp, even though he doesn't necessarily look all that tough, he's also kind of a little bit of a tougher guy inside. How is Pearsall going to be after he gets starched a couple times? After he gets not, can he get off the line of scrimmage against NFL corners? Can he free himself up open? If he is legitimately a tough guy, then that's a great pick because the ball skills and the fit to the offense, and it's all there.
I guess why I'm talking about the touchdown thing, it seems like if he was never a guy on his team in college football that the other team really had to worry about. Like, he wasn't going to beat you. He might catch a few passes, but he wasn't going to really score a touchdown. He wasn't going to catch the pass that beat you. It's not like teams like, how are we going to stop Ricky Pearsall this week? Like, well, he'll stop himself, or his team will stop him. He doesn't seem like a guy who, even in college, was a game breaker, and now he will be in the NFL. Like maybe because of Kyle, but maybe Cowing will. Why do I think Cowing's going to be better than Pearsall? Who do you think's going to be better?
I do too. I think Cowan could be better than Pearsall because he gets separation. He's got great hands. There was a great YouTube. Sometimes you stumble on some amazing stuff on YouTube. Last night I stumbled into Steve Smith doing a half-hour breakdown on Jacob Cowing. Have you seen that one yet?
No.
Steve Smith in a lot of ways is this guy. Yeah, it was about a half hour.
Okay.
And he loves Jacob Cowing. Loves him. Now, granted, he was him. right? I mean, Steve Smith was 5'9" and super tough, and this guy's 5'8", but he's just like there's so many different things that he talks about as far as nuances of playing wide receiver that he loves about Cowing. Yeah, I think Cowing, if I had to bet, I would bet right now that Cowing is better than Pearsall. Pearsall's lack of production to me is, it's a little alarming when you look at the ball skills, the hands, the route running, or the quickness, the strength, the 4.41, the 42-inch vertical. The lack of production is a little alarming. But I would take Cowing over Pearsall, and I think I would probably take Cody Schrader over Garendo.
Yeah.
We'll
I
see
mean,
how it
Pearsall
looks.
played with Jaden Daniel and had 580 yards and 4 touchdowns. I don't get that. Then he played with Anthony Richardson and had 660 yards and 5 touchdowns. Like, you can make excuses for Ricky. Maybe he'll be great in the NFL, but Cowing played at UTEP and went for 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns. And then he went for 1,000 yards at Arizona State. And last year he had 13 touchdowns. And you got him in the 4th round. If you can get that guy in the 4th round, why do you have to take a wide receiver in round 1? That's my other question, I guess.
I wonder if they knew they could get Cowing in the 4th, would they have gone on the line of scrimmage in round 1? Or did they? And we've seen them, another thing we've seen a lot, and they did it again in this draft. We've seen them double up on positions repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take this running back and this running back, this receiver and this receiver,
mm-hmm.
this O lineman and this O lineman. It's like they love to double up. It's like they almost don't have the conviction that they filled the need with the first pick. So here comes the second pick. But I'll say this about Cowing. When you can marry the traits of awesome athlete, 4.3 speed with incredible production, that's when you're hitting the home run. That's when you land the big time guys.
That's why I think he's going to be good. Last question on this topic. So we saw what the Niners did. Kyle Shanahan drafts Ricky Pearsall. That's his guy. Then we see what Adam Peters did, former Niners guy. Now he's the GM with Washington. Waits until round 3, drafts Luke McCaffrey. Who do you think will have a better career, McCaffrey or Pearsall?
Pearsall. I mean, Luke, Christian, if you're watching this, I apologize, but it was a good story, for the Niners, they may want to get Luke McCaffrey. It's a great story. Oh, you'd have both brothers. And he did have a very good year this last year for Rice in a first year receiver, was a quarterback, all conference player, had better 40 time than Christian. But then, you know what? I don't believe in a lot of that stuff. I believe in roll the tape. And he didn't create separation at Rice. I mean, I watched 4 games of him thinking the Niners were going to take him. I don't think he got separation more than twice in 4 games, like real 3, 4, 5-yard separation. Well, if you're not separating against, playing for Rice, you're not separating against the Rams. So I think
13 touchdown catches.
Yeah, no, I know he was productive, but I don't. The corners were just glued to him. So I think he's going to be. If he's good, it's going to take him a couple years to work on the nuances of playing receiver.